Hi, I'm Paul Germain, and welcome to another session of Smart Boating. As you know, if you watched the show before, we cover a wide variety of topics from docking to insurance, and the general idea is to provide you with a little bit of information that'll help you make smarter decisions and have more fun on the water. Today's kind of an interesting day because it's our annual Christmas show, and we're here at West Marine in Woburn, Mass. to look at some interesting Christmas gifts. And joining me is a very experienced boater. His name is Fred Dodge, and welcome to the show, Fred.
Thank you, Paul. It's really a pleasure to be here.
It's going to be a fun show. We've got a lot of interesting ideas, but before we get into them, can you share with people a little bit about your boating background?
Well, I guess I've gotten to sail and be on boats all my life, and had the fun of having a Hinckley pilot, and I think any reason to get on the water is got to be out there.
Yeah, you've taught sailing before, right?
I did, and had the fun of being on General Patton's schooner, the When and If, every year.
Yes.
And I think you'd appreciate our motto. It was from the Wind in the Willows. It says, from Ratty to Moly, there's nothing, absolutely nothing, half so worth doing as simply messing about in boats.
Yes, that's a favorite. Especially that last part of it is a very famous phrase, messing around in boats.
It's wonderful.
Well recognized. So you've got a lot of experience in this whole seamanship. You're a captain, right?
I did get my captain's license.
So you get a lot of experience in this whole area. So you're going to be the ideal guest today for our show on Christmas gifts.
I hope so.
Yes. Well, let's get right into it. You know, there's thousands of ideas that we could have for Christmas gifts, but we've got to narrow it down because we only got a half hour. And I wanted to mention that the examples we're going to be showing are simply that there are a lot of manufacturers that make great products, and we're just showing samples from different categories.
Yes.
We're not advertising for anyone here today. So let's talk a little bit. We're going to follow the seasons a little bit. Let's start with winter first. And we've got some magazines here. We got boat, sail, outboard. You know, around here, unless you go south, can't do any boating in the winter. So,
but can certainly do a lot of dreaming.
You can do a lot of dreaming. Yes. The boat is like a big boat magazine, and then we've got sail. I don't know if you get any, because you're a sailor. I don't know if you get any sailing magazines.
I've gotten Sail magazine, and now a lot of them are online, so you're cheating.
Okay. Oh yeah. Well, that's true. That's true. Yep. And there's this one, Outboard.
Yes.
That's a very interesting magazine because it's brand new.
It is brand new.
And it's brought about by the resurgence of the popularity of outboards.
And how large, and to see people with 3 or 4 350 horsepower engines, it's like, yow!
I know.
I like your Bertram much better.
Well, the outboards are proving to be very popular. So those are great ways, great Christmas gifts. It gives someone
would be wonderful Christmas gift.
Yeah. And we've got, as you move from magazines, you've got a book there.
Just to have your tide charts, and your and Eldritch is vital unless you want to be aground for the afternoon.
So it gives tidal information, and does it give currents and that sort of thing?
I believe so.
I think so too.
It's all the piloting and but it goes harbor by harbor and area by area, so that because the tides change wherever you go.
Yeah, that's a great gift. And of course, I've got the Bible here, Chapman's, and I learned on this book. You might have learned on it too.
All the rules of the road, and you forget them, unfortunately.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Yep.
So to remind yourself over the winter is a good thing to do.
How about these guys? We got some charts there. Maybe we can show those to the viewers at home.
That to have them covered and
laminated.
And so that they'll show you. It seems wild, but I used to just plot courses in the wintertime just to have, in case you got caught in the fog, and just have them all set up and ready to go.
Yeah, and you can get a book of this, like this,
yes.
Right? Or you can get the individual ones, right?
Yes, which is like this.
Yeah.
Whoop.
And again, they're waterproofed. In the old days, they were just paper. You get out there, you get a little spray on them, they start to tear and get all jumbled up. And now, the new maps, the new
They're
charts.
gorgeous.
Yeah.
Just beautiful.
Really nice. Very, very helpful. And a great gift.
It really is a good gift.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's see what else we've got here. So the magazines and the books and the charts, those are all great for winter gifts that you can be used, year round. And I want to talk a little bit about launching. In the spring, you got to get ready for launch. And,
Absolutely.
And as you know from your boating experience, everything says marine on is 3 times the price of something in a hardware store. So that's a little crazy. Now what I do, and this is just my personal habit, I scrub my boat down really good with like a mustard oil or something. And then I use something like a cleaner wax like this.
Yes.
Which is that second piece of getting things clean. And then I use a pure wax like this, which protects and shines. And personally, I find that combination to work really well on my old boat. Do you use like a similar process?
Sun and salt water just wreaks havoc on your boat and takes all the color out of them and just livens them up.
Yeah,
makes
it does.
them look
Can they
beautiful.
see those at home? I think so, yeah. Yep, beautiful. Yeah, those are great. You can keep those over there. I've got a lot of stuff over here. Here's something that I find to be a useful product that would make a good Christmas gift. It's what's called prop coat, Barnacle barrier. And for whatever reason, the last couple of years, I've been getting a lot of barnacles that go right to my stainless steel prop like they're on a magnet. And I have to pull the prop halfway through the season just to get the barnacles off. This is a great gift, I think, because it's expensive. It's like 25, 30 bucks. But again, you don't have to go looking to take the barnacles off.
Right. And that must be difficult on your boat. And do you dive down,
no,
take
it's
it
not
off?
too bad. Not too bad. Yeah, but I can see it being a very useful thing for a lot of boaters.
Wonderful.
And it is a little pricey, so it's a nice gift. And here's another outfitting thing. My understanding is a lot of boats run 2 fuel filters. If the gas tank, the fuel flows to the primary filter, which is one like this, and then it goes to a spin-on filter on the engine. So it's got 2 areas to catch the dirt before it goes into the carburetor or the fuel injection. So these have to be changed every year. And again, I think it's a nice gift because they're pricey. They're over 30 bucks. And they're necessary. What do you think about that?
Oh, definitely. I mean, you don't want to be out and have your engine clog.
No, you don't. No.
And
so that's a necessary part of things. So those are good gifts, I think. Let's see what else we got here. Not sure how we're doing on time, but this is safety.
all the stuff that you don't want to use, but you have to have.
Right, yeah. This is Coast Guard requirement, right?
Yes.
So flares, this is a flare kit, and this includes handheld flares, and of course they have day flares and night flares. I think the day ones are orange and the night ones are red, if I remember correctly, right? Or
yes.
white. Something visible.
Yes.
And this kit has the flare gun in it, so you can shoot them way up there. So that's kind of a nice thing. And one of the important things I think about this is that flares have expiration dates.
Yes.
And I've been on the wrong end of this a couple times, because you put the flares, even if you put them in an accessible place, you don't go checking on them every day. And it's all too easy to get ready for the water, having overlooked the expiration dates on the flares.
Yes.
And then the Coast Guard comes by and says, hey, you know, that's more than 3 years old, right?
I think they know just when it's expired.
Target my boat, probably. I don't know. No, they don't do that. No, but I think that's a nice gift. You know, again, you can buy you can buy replacement flares, but I oftentimes find that when these kits go on sale, it's almost as inexpensive to get the whole kit, get everything new, the shotgun flares and the regular flares in the canister, as just buying the new flares.
Yes. And
do you find that to be true too?
It's nice that our harbor master allows you, there's a day each year early in the summer, he lets you shoot off your flares just to practice.
Oh, is that right?
Most of us never shot a flare off, and you hope you never have to.
Right. We actually did a show, the harbor master and I did a show on that because of that very reason, that when you go to use the flares, it's typically a dark night, the engine's broken and you're in a bad spot.
Yep.
It's not the good time for a training on how to light off a flare.
I don't think there's something you want to fool around with.
No,
either.
they aren't. So I think that's just a dynamite gift right there.
I would agree.
Really, really nice. You know, it's funny, Fred, because those have been around ever since I was a kid. Very effective, Coast Guard recognized, so on and so forth. And recently there's been these electronic beacons.
Yes.
This one's from Orion. There's other ones. And this is, it doesn't require any striking of a match or any flares at all. It's, I'll just read it to you briefly here. It's waterproof. It runs by a battery, 2 D cells. And it's got a very low draw, so they last quite a long time. It's floatable, it's handheld, it's hanging. These are interesting because one, they help with the safety aspect.
Yes.
And two, as you know from your flare lighting experience, the flares can be a little tricky to handle. You've got a burning torch in your hand. If you don't know what you're doing, you could get hurt. And this doesn't have that. So I think that's kind of
nice.
That's kind of a nice thing, isn't it?
It really is nice.
Mm-hmm.
It's nice, I think you're going right into all of the safety requirements, and just to have EPIRBs, and they're just different devices that are for safety. You get in the water at night, that's not a place you want to be.
No, it's not.
So it's very nice to have something, a beacon to notify anybody that can help you.
Well, let's talk about that. So we've got these quote-unquote beacons.
Yes.
We've got the flares, both traditional and electronic. And then we've got another one. You know, I get reminded of this a lot. This is a little strobe light. These are very cool. I keep them on my boat. You just twist them. They're very bright. And I think it's probably, I don't know, $15 or $20. Not too expensive. But I think about this a lot when I'm out on like 4th of July. And there's hundreds of boats out there. And I think, geez, if someone goes overboard, you can see the boats, but you can't see the water. It's pitch black.
Yes.
And I think to put one of these on your life jacket is just a really smart move.
Very smart.
Relatively inexpensive for a Christmas present, but just so welcome, I think. What do you think?
Absolutely. And also, even during the day, if you're in rough water, you lose sight of the person in the water.
Yeah.
So
you've got a big
have
swell
beacon,
going on or whatever. Yeah. Yeah.
and you take your eyes off of them for a second, this is very nice to be able to, you can see it.
You can see it. Yeah, they're very bright. Very bright.
Very bright.
Yeah, yeah. And again, they're short money, like $15, $20. Yeah. So I think that's a great Christmas gift right there.
That's neat.
Now, look, you were talking a little bit about beacons, if you will. You know, and then we've got this whole satellite system up there, which we can leverage. And, you know, I think many boaters are familiar with EPIRBs.
Yes.
Where you attach it to your boat, the boat becomes a submarine, and the thing goes off automatically, sends a beam up to the satellite, says, I'm over here, and they come rescue you. And that makes a huge difference. Because they know where you are. They know where the boat is. The other issue is, I have relatives that go fishing fairly far offshore, 10 miles, 15 miles offshore. And the boat might be fine, but they hit a rogue wave, they're leaning on the gunnel, or they lose their balance, they go over, the boat keeps going, they're in the water, the boat's fine, but they're not fine, because now they're in the boat.
They're not fine at all.
They're not fine at all. So this is something that you'd attach to your life vest, and when it goes over, it automatically sends out the beacon and tells the person that you're in the water and come get you. I think it's like $350.
Yes.
So it's not cheap. It's not a stocking stuffer for most people. But I think it could be a very welcome Christmas gift.
And if you care for a loved one who's going out maybe by themselves, this is really necessary.
Yeah.
And that would be a wonderful.
Isn't that a nice gift?
Really nice.
Yeah. Yep. Let's see what else we got here. We got a lot of stuff Electronics. Now, again, this electronic piece that I've got here, called an Element Raymarine. You know, these can be pricey.
Yep.
Quite frankly, I mean, you can $500,000, whatever. I think this is about $750, something like that. And this has a lot of different functions on it. It's got high resolution. It's got chirp technology, which is the latest technology in detecting things. It's got a quad-core processor. Again, you know, electronics have become really vital for many people.
Yes.
You know, these are stock when boats come out of the factory. They got pretty good electronics.
Very good electronics.
And you know, there's advances every year. So maybe 5 to 7 years down the road, even if your boat had good electronics, you'd want to maybe update.
Certainly.
So I think, you know, again, it's not inexpensive, but I think it could be a good Christmas present. What do you think?
Oh my Lord. Well, most people, just navigation can be very difficult.
Yes.
And this is so exact. And
Yes.
there's so many boats out now that you really want to know where you're going, and just so you can concentrate on watching other boats and
Right.
making sure you're safe and on course.
Right.
These are fabulous.
Yeah, they're integrated, right? They're all integrated systems now. So the radar ties into the chart plotter, which ties into the VHF, which ties in, you know, all this stuff. So they've gone a long way.
Extraordinary.
It's a great gift. Do you have room over there for that?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, you've got a lot of stuff going on there. Okay, let's see what else we've got on our list here. Oh, this one here. VHF. So VHFs have been around since, you know, a long time.
A long time.
Just a workhorse, a safety workhorse on the water, right?
Yes.
You know, cell phones, they're good basically within sight of land.
Yes.
The towers only go so far,
Uh-huh.
and then you need to be counting on a VHF. And so they're not glamorous, but they're highly necessary. And this particular one is a floating one, and it's also flashing. And a lot of them have the DSC on them. You know, you push the button, puts the automatic signal up, again,
Yes.
that you need help. These are, you know, fairly modestly priced. I'd say $150, $200.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I think that's a cool present. I like the fact that it's floating.
Yes.
Because if your boat goes down, you're in the water. If you have your phone, because it floats,
Done.
you're
You're
in
in trouble.
relatively good shape, right?
Yes.
Yeah. What do you think?
And absolutely. And it has that emergency beacon on it. It's how you usually are able to communicate with other boaters, and certainly with the harbor, and with the Coast Guard. They only use this. I mean,
They do.
you want to call
Right,
them
that's
up
their
on your
primary
phone.
thing. Yeah. Yeah.
That your phone is good, but they sure don't like water.
Yes.
Where
yes,
this
yeah.
is.
Isn't that a great gift?
That's a great gift.
Yeah. Let's see what else. I've got a list over here because we've got so many things. I think you've got the next one over there. It's the boom box, and we show it to our viewers there on camera. There, keep them in the conversation. I think, you know, when I think of this, I think if someone's got a 22-foot Mako with a 200 on it, Seacraft, whatever they got. It's open center console, not necessarily rigged with a full stereo system because it's a fishing boat in many ways. And the advances on these have been really good in terms of making them waterproof and responsive to Bluetooth. So
Yes.
now you can manipulate the controls on this just like you could do in your car with your phone.
Nice.
What do you think of that? In
I
terms
think
of
it's great. And you'd say, why do I need a special boom box for my boat? As we try and let everybody know that you get it on the boat water, everything changes. That it gets,
right.
you take a normal radio with you and it just won't work very quickly.
Not very well, not
No.
very long.
No.
After those first few big waves and spray,
Done.
that's the end of that one. Yeah.
It is.
So these are nice. This, it's just in recent years, I think they've come to a new level of waterproofness
Yes.
and responsiveness to external controls. So, and that's again, not huge money, a great gift, especially for the family.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right. Let's see what else we've got here. We've got clothing. You know, I've been boating a long time, as you, and historically, I speak for myself, swim shorts. I'm good. Maybe
Yes.
a t-shirt. That's it. But you know, I was at my dermatologist the other day, and she said, you know, you've been lucky, but you got to wear a hat. You gotta start to protect your skin.
Yep.
You know, and I think everyone's in tune with that, is aware of that now.
Very much so.
So you know, we've got some clothing here. This is like a hoodie, and the SPF on this I think is around 50, which is
That's very good.
is substantial.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're not going to be able to put sunblock on that'll do that.
You don't, yeah, and with this you don't need it. Yeah, you can go natural with that.
Yes.
So I like that, and quite frankly, I think I'm going to get some of this clothing because,
Smart.
yeah, it's just smart. This is, so you can go with something casual there. This one here is a little more formal, for lack of a better term. It has a collar and it has buttons and that sort of thing. So you don't have to necessarily pick your style. You're not precluded from getting protective clothing no matter what style you like, right?
That's nice.
How about these shorts? I live in shorts in the summer. What do you
Boy.
think of those? And
Oh,
those are
look-
SPF 50 as well.
You don't wear these in the wintertime?
No, not too much. Not too much. But what do you think of that?
I think those are really nice, and they're nylon
combo.
and light.
Fast drying, right?
Yes. It's a lot of the new clothing is so great. It's so
It really makes sense to switch over if you can.
Yes,
I mean,
indeed.
because you don't get that sort of protection in the older clothing. And so, you know, to keep yourself out of the dermatologist's office on serious issues, this can be a really effective route.
absolutely, and it dries easily. It's just
Yeah.
be comfortable.
Yeah, that's a smart way to go. Why don't you put that over there, and then I'll show you Tilly. This is a Tilly hat. That's a pretty famous name.
Yes.
A lot of sailors like this. I wear a ball cap, but you know, I probably should be wearing something like this because it's got the brim on it, right? Yeah. Do you wear protective hats when you're on?
I have got a big straw hat that I've got that.
Okay, so similar in format to that.
Yes.
Yes.
So it's kind of like wearing an umbrella.
Right. Well, it's necessary, right?
Yeah.
And the hats vary in range, price range. You know, I'd say probably a good one, 50 to 90 bucks.
Yep.
This one I think is collapsible. Yeah, it goes down like this, flat, like a pancake.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So it's easy to store. And again, it's got the brim and it's waterproof and sunproof. And you know, again, as I get older, I start to think more and more about how do I protect my skin, my face, my neck. And I think that's a great Christmas gift.
And it's got straps so it'll hold down.
Yeah, in case you're in some weather. Yeah, yeah, perfect. That's perfect. All right, I think we've got a couple more items of clothing here. One is, I was going to mention coats. I wear, and maybe you do too, coats that have a shell and a light felt interior to provide some warmth. I wear them all the time in the spring and the fall. So that's a really great thing to have. We have some in back of us here, but we don't have one in our hands. But again, it's a great gift. You know, on sale they're 75 bucks, 80 bucks. But to have that windbreak action plus a little liner for warmth, again, I find them indispensable.
Absolutely.
And a great Christmas gift.
Very good.
Yeah.
Because you can wear them all year round.
You can.
In the snow or
yeah.
let
As long
alone.
as you get something underneath.
Yes.
Here's something I wouldn't have thought of when I was a kid. It's a waterproof deck boot. Now I
Very
wear
nice.
topsiders, you wear topsiders. They give you the traction. And when I was 12 years old, I didn't mind my feet being wet. I don't mind it a terrible amount, but to have dry feet is a really nice thing to have.
That's a really nice thing to have.
Right.
And they do have good soles so that they'll grip your boat.
Yeah.
And that's a beautiful gift.
Isn't that a nice gift?
Yeah, it would be nice.
Yeah, and not big money. we would be remiss without talking briefly about toys. You know, we come out of the harbor and there's a couple hundred boats there moored or anchored, and you know, the kids are jumping off, and they might be using a snorkel set like that to explore the bottom.
There's so many wonderful things to see.
Yeah,
it's beautiful.
Kids love to be out in the water, splashing around, and so that's a great gift. And of course, something like this. This is the flamingo float, if you will.
I think you probably spend a tremendous amount of time in that yourself.
I can see that, yeah. I can see myself. Maybe you lounging in this comfortably.
Oh, definitely so.
Yes, yes. Yep. I don't know if you have. Do you have room over there?
Sure.
You've got a lot of stuff. Well, we only got a few more minutes to go here, unfortunately, but I think we have time to introduce just a couple other things that people might like. This is a tumbler, and some of the newer technology ensures that drinks stay colder longer. And you can get them, they're not cheap, but they're about $20, $25. And to have a nice cold drink.
Or hot.
Or
I mean,
hot.
they're incredible.
Right.
They really are practical.
They are.
And durable.
Yeah, they make them pretty rugged. I think that's a great gift.
It's a wonderful gift.
I know, I've appreciated that in the past. Here's another one, a rigging knife. You know, without getting too boaty here, I find that type of knife with a serrated edge to be just indispensable, because you get in so many situations where you got line, anchor line, dock lines, whatever it is, and it's attached to something heavy like the boat, and it's moving. And if you get a body part in there, you really want to cut that strain fast. And to have a knife like that, where you can get through something like that, I think is just indispensable.
Indispensable. And I think any good boater should have one in their pocket all the time, and you just don't think of it, and you don't want to think that you're going to get tangled in your line, but it unfortunately happens.
Right. They're indispensable. Indispensable. Another thing I think is indispensable is this sunglasses. Again, as a kid, no sunglasses, who cared? Now I wear sunglasses because, you know, there's so much reflection off that water. Your eyes are really getting a workout. And so what I found is that I invest more money in my sunglasses now than I used to, because I'm so much aware of the need for protection for my eyes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And there's so many different shapes and sizes, and they stay on your face, and there's some just for you.
Yes. So that's a nice gift to get a good pair of glasses, probably $150 or something like that.
Yes.
But they come with protective cases, and so you can make them last quite a while. And it's just a great thing to have, something anyone will appreciate.
They certainly would.
We've got some other things here. We've got one of the things I like. A friend introduced me to this. Is called a dry sack, and basically it's, I don't know how to explain it. It's heavy-duty rubber, and it's a sack, and you can put your stuff in there, and then you roll it into like a blanket, and you can put all your stuff in there. It keeps it dry.
Practical.
Yeah, very practical. Yeah.
Yeah, you certainly don't want to go out, have dry clothes, and all of a sudden they're soaked. This is pretty great.
Which is usually the case, yeah. Well, Fred, we had some other things that we could talk to today, like fishing lures and things to keep your cell phone dry, and first aid kits, and high-power flash spotlights, which are all great gifts. But unfortunately, you know, we've come to the end of our time to talk today about these gifts. And I feel good that we've been able to highlight some really good ideas. Is there anything you'd like to add before we wrap up the show?
Any gift, anything that you go into a boating store, and I would appreciate getting anything that you'd like to give me. It's all beautiful stuff, and nice to let you dream about being at sea again.
Yes, yes. Well, thank you for being my guest today.
Thank you so much.
And thank you, Smart Boating viewers, for watching the show today. If you have comments or questions, simply visit our website at smartboatingus.com. And I hope you'll come back again soon.